Alright lads, so if you looked into the game after reset today, you would have been greeted by a surprise picture basically confirming that Burn the Witch is going to be our upcoming end of month banner. Now to be fair, most of us have already known this. It was kind of leaked 2 months ago. We spoke about the characters and most likely the release date then was end of month August. But I guess if for some reason you have been avoiding leaks, now we can pretty much safely talk about it that end of month is going to be Swimsuit Nini Noel and also a third character that has not yet been leaked, but you can pretty much assume who that's going to be. Again, I kind of wondered to myself if these advanced announcements regarding this end of month banner is because Caleb know the banner was leaked. Again, during the 10th anniversary banner collation, we did get the announcement of a Burn the Witch collaboration. Would that have happened if the banner was leaked? And alongside this announcement today, pretty much is telling us in a couple days time, we are going to get the news of the upcoming end of month banner. Would that have also happened if the banner wasn't already leaked? Not like it matters, but that's just something I thought I'd mention. So with that, since the banner is a couple of days away from being announced, it will be getting announced on the 28th, by the way. Let's just talk about what type of character we might potentially receive and how good they are potentially going to be too. So first up, one thing that we do know is that these characters are going to be built for these special limited time guild quests starting on the 1st to the 7th. So when these characters are just released, when they're newly available. The thing that we are going to see it in the midst of, shadow buffing guild quests, these ones in particular are going to have the status element plus trap effects, so you are going to need 200% resistance. And I believe in this case, both Nini and Noel are going to have 200% immunity for freeze. Because I'm assuming the 2 guild quest characters, the main selling units, will be Nini and Noel. That third character, when we do talk about them, really can't be anything. They can just be another really good SP character. They could be a farmer. But I'm assuming the 2 generic good characters will be Nini and Noel, right? So with that in mind, what we do see here is that this upcoming guild quest is going to feature the melee Aaroniero guild quest phase and also the ranged no-affiliation guild quest phase. So for me, the more exciting part is the ranged no-affiliation guild quests. Just in general, I've been needing and wanting a new ranged no-affiliation killer for quite some time. And unless I'm wrong, truth be told, that is probably the last killer that has been needing a new character. At this point, what we're going to see with the Aaroniero killer phase is that every guild quest phase, to be fair, they're buffing guild quests, so it's not entirely the same, but every guild quest phase now has access to just really good characters that are good enough to clear the quest. In some cases, even with a buff. There's not many guild quest phases to me that are in desperate need of new characters, and the last one really was the ranged no-affiliation guild quest. And that's why, it might seem like, damn, we're already getting another melee Aaroniero killer. We just got Esno early this year. That's true, but that's also going to be seen in a lot of banners, right? Well, of course, getting 5 characters a month. There's only so many killers and range types, right? Eventually, we're just going to get characters in a guild quest phase that already has access to good characters. And that's what we're kind of seeing with the melee Aaroniero guild quests. Now, in addition to that, what we can do is look at the current guild quest phase, look at next week, for example, to see the final enemies and pretty much confirm the attributes for these upcoming characters. So, the upcoming melee Aaroniero killer is going to be a power character. Although, to be fair, now that I think about it, to be fair, it's most likely that we are going to get a melee Aaroniero killer because this does have the, 200% resistance. But at the same time, this could just be for the new Nell. Remember, we did get the Kubo playable art Nelly out. She is a power Aaroniero killer. There is no way we are going to get another power Aaroniero killer, right? I mean, it's entirely possible we do get that, but it would be weird to get 2 new characters for one guild quest phase that's upcoming, and both of them have the exact same attribute. We also do know that Esno is recently returning. He is coming back tomorrow. Again, I wouldn't really recommend summoning on that banner, at least until we see what end of month is going to be. But, Esno here is in a disadvantage. He's a speed character. The enemies are technique. So I thought this would have been a great opportunity maybe for Caleb to, give us a new power Aaroniero killer, but then Nelliel does exist. So right now I'm kind of conflicted. Are we actually going to get a new melee Aaroniero killer? I'm not entirely too sure. It would make sense, to be fair. It would make sense, but then Nelliel, for example, a new attack damage character, does have Flurry plus 3. She's our first Flurry free guild quest character, and even if they do not give us a new lead, or if they don't maybe give us a new power Aaroniero killer because we just got one, Nelliel's going going to carry because their damage output is going to be ridiculously high. But for the sake of the video, let's just assume we are going to get a power rank killer. Let's just assume that's going to be Nini, for example. And then when it comes to the second guild quest phase, we have the ranged no-affiliation guild quest, and in this case, the final enemy is going to be a power character, so that means we are going to get a speed character. At least for the sake of this video, the one guarantee that we can say is that we are guaranteed a speed no-affiliation killer. Just right now, based on the fact that, you know, Nelly L just came out, I can't say for certainty we are going to get a new rank killer. It would make sense. It's most likely what's going to happen, but we can't say it's guaranteed. And if we have a look at our current album, it has been quite a while, to be fair. This is why the ranged no-affiliation guild quest, or most of just Kill It in general, have been needing a new character. Because personally for me, right, you know, I have all these good guild quest characters, I'm getting good scores, but Toshiro right now for me was only ever 1 out of 5. So just by default, my guild quest score was significantly slower compared to any other guild quest phase. And Toshiro, while he's not a bad character, like I don't want to hate on this character, right, because he is still very solid, he also was, you know, a character that only had Frenzy +2. Only had Frenzy +2. He has a good damage output, the extra frozen damage and, you know, extra status affected enemies, for example, but it was just Frenzy +2, and he also didn't even have Killer Plus, so that's why it felt like ranged no-affiliation was needing a new character. Just compared to any other guild quest phase that was actively getting new characters, we have Frenzy +3 units, we have Killer Plus units. This guild quest just didn't have access to that. Alongside that too, in the last year since Toshiro has been released, we only ever got one new character, that being Apache, who is a normal attack damage character. A speed one at that too, so she's also going to be good in this upcoming guild quest phase, alongside that also potential new speed no-affiliation killer. Which, funny enough, the last time we did get that for a Burn the Witch banner was also Macy. But I'm going to assume this speed no-affiliation killer is going to be the main selling unit, and I'm going to assume that's going to be Noelle. The last time that we did get a Burn the Witch banner, it was Nini and also Noelle. Again, there should be a third character for this upcoming one. Nini was technically the limit breaker character of the banner, so she was the highlight unit. Both of them, to be fair, were just not as good as they could have been, so hopefully this upcoming end of month doesn't follow through with that. These characters came out right after Yachiru and also Kyogre, two of the best characters of the year. Power Creep itself was kicking up, and then these characters released like they were a year old already on the first day they came out, especially more so Noelle. But regardless, Nini was the limit breaker character, so even though I do prefer Nini, I'm more of a fan of Nini. And again, if you've seen the leaked artwork, we know what the characters look like. I really do like Nini's art. I want Nini to be the ranged no-affiliation killer. I want her, regardless of, you know, the killer, to be the limit breaker character again, but that's being kind of greedy. At this point, I think Noelle deserves it because, again, Nini was that last time. So I'm going to expect Noelle to be the speed no-affiliation killer. And with that, me personally, again, I said that for the upcoming, for the most recent mid-month banner, I don't mind if we go back to Frenzy Free and Guild Quest, right? I think that's a good way to balance the characters, save the Frenzy +3 everywhere and crazy damage outputs for anniversary units, end of year units, for example. But to me, Burn the Witch is a specialty. It is a collaboration banner. I wouldn't mind if these characters do have the same power level of the anniversary units. Frenzy +3 everywhere, ridiculous damage outputs, good strong attack hits, EX skills, etc. Personally, I would not mind that. In regards to the speed character, assuming it is going to be Noelle, I'm going to assume her EX skill would just be Berserker. Currently, the existing character with an EX skill in the speed attribute is Ruki, who does give the SP boost. So I'm just going to guess Noelle will be a new type of character, introducing the Berserker EX skill to the speed attribute, hoping she has Frenzy +3. In terms of stars, which you can never really guess with characters like this because they are seasonal, it's also Burn the Witch. They really can have anything, but regardless of what stat summons they do have, I'm sure they're going to be fine. They're likely going to have Poise Break, so if they don't have a stat summon like Paralysis or Freeze, they're going to be able to do something to stop the enemies. So I highly doubt gameplay is going to be much of an issue here. With that in mind, though, I'm kind of excited to see what EX attacks they could have, because we've yet to get a Burn the Witch banner with EX attacks. And throughout the entire anniversary, including the pre-anniversary, we didn't see any character with the Gremmy EX skill that debuffs and also buffs your allies, but debuffs the enemies, right? So I'm actually kind of hoping that one of the Burn the Witch characters here are going to have their EX attack. The really good one that buffs your allies and yourself and also debuffs the enemies. That again potentially could be on Noelle or wherever the speed no-affiliation killer is going to be. So if you are someone that's been looking to potentially replace your Toshiro, I know personally I have, especially because I didn't get any duplicates of him when the character came back during the anniversary. And as someone that doesn't have Apache, that's why I've been saving orbs for this upcoming end of month. Regardless of it being Burn the Witch or not, I always had my eyes on end of August for that ranged no-affiliation killer. When it comes to the melee Aaroniero killer, again, I don't have Nelliel, so it's unfortunate, but she would be a good character to have. Melee Aaroniero killer, though, is kind of in a decent spot if you do have access to Esna and also Bambietta, because they're both SP characters with good damage output. You can pair them with Gremmy. Even with this guild quest buff or this upcoming guild quest, which I'm sure is going to have a lot of HP, I think they'll be fine despite Esna having the attribute disadvantage. But yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we do get another melee Aaroniero killer. And as for the third character, I guess there could be a farming unit. I don't know if I want Burn the Witch characters to be normal attack damage or farming characters. Again, Burn the Witch, at least since they got introduced, have been some of the better characters in the game. I mean, Nini and Noelle, when they first came out, more so Noelle was one of the better characters in the game. Crazy damage output, good strong attack hit, overall was fairly solid. Bruno came out, while he wasn't as good as, Nini and Noelle were on release, the character itself was technically used to promote Arena. He was an Arena character. He was a one-character banner. And in Arena, even to this day, he's still a good character, right? The other Nini and Noelle, they were the first Super Linkso farmers, the first characters to have increased stat azimuth chance against 2 killers. So they were also a pretty big deal. And then we had the Parasol characters. Bruno was amazing. Macy was absolutely broken, even in Bray battles. And then Bargo was the farmer. But it was also at the same time just Bargo. Traditionally, Burn the Witch banners have been a big deal in terms of just power levels. And again, they kind of threw that away when they did the Halloween banner. It just wasn't nearly as good. But maybe one of the characters again will be a Linkso farmer. Maybe that third character that has yet to get officially leaked. Again, right now we do have access to 2 new type of farmers, Uru and also Lil Tol. Now they're different farmers. One farms Linkso potions, one farms Super Linkso potions. But we are seeing to these new type of farmers because most people don't need to farm in this game, right? Like, I'm missing Lil Tol, but it's not that big of a deal. But in a way to give more value to these characters, we are seeing them become also really good support characters. So maybe we're going to see one of those type of characters for this banner that just make them a really good buffer for a particular attribute. So with Lil Tol, we have the heart attribute covered. With Uru, we have the power attribute covered. We know one of the characters is going to be a speed character. Maybe one's going to be power. So maybe we'll get a mind character, a really good mind supporter, which also could work very well. I mean, we have actually some really good mind characters, for example. So in a way, that'll be a buff to those units. But if we go to the updated guild quest schedule once more, just to check the killers that will be available soon after the end of the month. No, we can't even check that. So we have no idea what's coming after the Aaroniero and also no-affiliation guild quests. This is the final week in the current guild quest schedule. So there is a chance that maybe we don't get a new Aaroniero. That third character in the banner might just be an overall good SP character. That also, of course, is expected to perform well in guild quests, but we won't be able to predict what killers they are potentially going to offer, since we can't see what's happening soon after the, Aaroniero and no-affiliation guild quests. So yeah, pretty cool that we have official confirmation, even though we all technically knew it was going to happen. We have official confirmation that end of month is going to be Swimsuit, Nini, and Noelle. Also a third character, and that's technically not confirmed, but a third character seems very likely based on what has been going around. And hopefully it is a free character banner. Free character banners are just better in general. With that too, I guess I should have mentioned at the start, we also do have new artwork for Asushi. As far as I've seen in the 2 leaked artwork that we did get, Asushi wasn't present in any of them. So this is actually pretty cool. Hopefully this means we are getting a new Asushi familiar. Normally when we do get a new Burn the Witch event, I think a Sushi Familiar does come along with it. I don't think it happened last time with the Halloween banner, but it has been, very long since. It would be cool to get a new Osushi Familiar. And in this case, the outfit itself is cute. Osushi's always adorable. It'll be pretty cool if we can get a new Familiar. And also, maybe I'm looking too deep into it, not like it matters, but is this background not the Maldives? Is Nini and Noelle and that potential third character hasn't been leaked yet in the Maldives right now? I wouldn't mind being there, but either way, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Burn the Witch is getting announced in a couple days' time. Again, the announcement will happen on the 28th. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully they're good characters. Hopefully they're fun characters. Well, that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.